Hello everyone and welcome to episode 14 of the Irish Whip podcast. I'm your host Ben, accompanied as always by my co-host Aaron.
Yeah.
This week we're doing our Payback review show.
Yeah, and a bunch of shit happened in between.
A lot of news, which we'll get into. I guess the biggest story this week would be the slaughter of about 8 or 9 different superstars. I have 8 here.
Yeah, 9.
8 or 9.
I think it's 9 written here.
Yeah, so WWE have made some layoffs.
Let's start. Well, we do it from importance to least important.
I suppose. So I guess most important would be Damien Sandow got released this week. King Barrett, Zeb Coulter.
King Barrett's one.
That was he had handed in his notice.
They just let him leave a month earlier than usual because his contract was up at the end of June. But they allowed him to get out of his contract a month early.
Yeah, well, they weren't using him.
Yeah.
Zeb Coulter's also gone. Santino, Cameron, El Torito, Hornswoggle, and Alex Riley.
The least important.
Yes.
Somehow Alex Riley is less important than Hornswoggle.
Am I wrong?
No. The last big news Alex Riley did was call out another wrestling podcast last week.
Yeah, he called it
Solomonster Sounds Off, who I'm a big fan of.
I've never really listened to him.
I like him. I like his podcast.
Go check out Solomonster's podcast, everyone.
Yeah. Don't listen to this.
Turn this off immediately. All 4 of you listening right now.
Yeah, most of these I didn't care about.
No, I'm not.
3 of them. 2? 1? One person I cared about.
Yeah, Sandow kind of surprised me a bit.
Yeah.
Everyone else I kind of expected.
If anyone was following us on Twitter, they would have seen our reaction together. Because you messaged me on Twitter saying Barrett's gone, and my tweets went from really angry to really optimistic.
Yeah, hopefully Sandow goes somewhere where they'll use him properly.
Yeah, where they'll give him the respect he deserves, at least from it. He could go to anywhere. But I'd say we'll probably see him PWG, probably.
Yeah.
Say more than likely we'll see him there.
There, or Shikara or Ring of Honor, somewhere like that.
New Japan. Anywhere could take him. He'd be great there.
Santino was the one that surprised me most because I didn't realise he was still employed by WWE.
I knew he was. He was just a backstage role. He was just retired from wrestling. Yeah,
he had concussions or something.
Yeah, so he was retired from wrestling. But I knew he was doing a backstage role.
Everyone else kind of expected.
Yeah, El Trio has no reason being there anymore since
the Matadors are gone now.
Yeah.
Alex Riley. Yeah.
A lot of people think that Cameron had something to do with Ryback.
Yeah, the Ryback thing where so he was sent home this week.
Yeah.
Because he is in a contract dispute with Vince and WWE. And he released a big Tumblr blog post.
Yeah.
And he opened by saying this wasn't a money thing. And then
immediately talked about the money.
Yeah. the rest of the entire piece was about money.
Yeah.
So I don't know what you want, man.
Yeah, you signed that contract.
Yeah, well, it's the renewing of the contract. His contract is up soon, so he wants more money.
Yeah. I don't know. I can't be impartial to Ryback. I don't like Ryback.
Yeah.
I think he's a really bad wrestler. And I think he's a dickhead. If he was at least a good wrestler, I'd be a bit. But he's not. He's really bad. And he's really boring. The only good thing he's done in the last year or so is piss off the fans.
Yeah.
By making fun of wrestlers that they like.
I'm not really I don't care whether he comes back or not.
I don't like Ryback at all. I hope he doesn't come back.
Yeah, he could probably do well in like New Japan.
Yeah.
Just big, beefy white guy.
Bring him somewhere where he could become a good wrestler. Because he's not. And like WWE aren't going to make him better. Like if he could go to somewhere where he could become a better wrestler by fighting other big guys who are good, maybe we'll get something better off him.
I mean, he's been doing this for like 10 years, so...
yeah. And like he's got a worse 3 moves of doom.
Yeah. What are his 3 moves of doom? He just slaps his head and says stupid. That's 2. And then there's a shell shock. That's 3.
Yeah, that's it.
Also, Adam Rose has released like a doctor's note.
Yeah.
He was taking Adderall for ADHD apparently.
Yeah.
And WWE popped him on it.
And apparently WWE knew about it.
Yeah, according to Adam Rose, that he had discussed it with WWE and they were like, that's grand. And then they popped him.
Because Adderall can give like a false positive.
Yeah.
For certain drugs that are banned.
Well, Adderall itself is banned.
Yeah. But
for people with ADHD, it like
you can't stop them from taking it.
No, it's like when you have ADHD, you've got like chemical imbalances in your brain, and in a normal person, Adderall will fuck you up, but with someone with ADHD, it just balances you out. Yeah. So
if it's true, it's really upsetting.
Oh yeah, if it's true, Adam Rose can probably sue them. Yeah. He put it up, and then it disappeared, and then he's put it back up again.
Yeah, it's very confusing.
Yeah, there's something going on here.
Yeah, because Adam Rose, from everything I've seen, doesn't seem like a guy who'd lie about this kind of stuff. And, like, especially he wouldn't put out a statement about it.
I don't see why someone who'd gotten caught in, like, Adam Rose's position would put their career in jeopardy in such a way if this wasn't true.
Yeah, basically.
If what Adam Rose is saying is on the up and up, then WWE have kind of fucked up a bit. Yeah. Also, Bobby Heenan had a fall this weekend. Well, not this weekend, this week. And was hospitalised. I don't think he's been released yet. No. He's had to cancel a couple of appearances. But hopefully he makes a speedy recovery. Yeah.
So that's really all the news.
Yeah, the cuts were like the big story.
Yeah, of this week. There wasn't really anything else WWE related this week. Everything else is in Payback and Raw.
I wouldn't be surprised if a couple more cuts come within the next month.
There's probably like 1 or 2 more to go.
Yeah, I imagine Henry is going soon. Yeah. Because he said he's retiring, basically.
Yeah. Everything else.
I think Jack Swagger is probably on the way out.
Maybe.
And see you later, Zack Ryder. I'm surprised he's still there. Like, that, nothing against Ryder's ability or talent or anything, but like...
WWE don't like him.
Yeah. It doesn't matter if you're over. Ask Damien Sandow.
Yeah, it doesn't matter if you're over and you're good. And the people like you more than anyone else.
Anyway, on to Payback, I think, our review. Did you watch the pre-show?
Nope.
Okay, well, pre-show we had Ziggler and Corbin and Kalisto and Ryback. Ziggler defeated Baron Corbin after Corbin pummeled on him for most of the match with the most dreaded move in WWE, the roll-up. Corbin had beaten Ziggler down.
The roll-up seems to be Corbin's only weakness. That's how he lost the takeover as well.
Yeah. So Corbin had like Ziggler beaten down and was just like posing and, just showing off. Yeah. And Ziggler just gets up and rolls him up in 1, 2, 3. Yeah. And it was nothing. It was just a nothing match.
Like everyone expected.
Yeah. Kalisto defeated Ryback for the US title.
I heard that was a pretty good match.
It was actually pretty good.
I didn't care about it though.
Yeah.
I put this show on at that point, but I wasn't watching it.
I was surprised at the time that Kalisto won, but given
the story now,
given that Ryback is on the is in the shit list at the minute,
it's probably gone. What I did like was Ryback's gear.
Yeah,
he had the pre-show stopper. Was it the show? Yeah, the pre-show stopper
on his weight belt.
Yeah, on his weight belt when he came out, which is pretty funny. And he did a little CM Punk entrance when he came out.
Yeah, in Chicago.
Yeah,
he knows how to get heat.
Yeah, yeah, but he doesn't like Punk anyway.
No, Punk doesn't like him.
Yeah,
it was a good enough match actually. It was better than their Mania match.
The only thing I seen was Ryback saving Kalisto. That's the only thing I saw.
Yeah.
Was Kalisto went for like a suicide dive or something?
Like a corkscrew flippy shit deal.
And he was about to like crack his skull off of the side of the ring, and Ryback ran in and grabbed him before his head hit the side.
It was a cool like military press that Ryback did onto Kalisto, but from like the top rope. I was like, Jesus, fucking wouldn't take that bump.
That's like taking the world's strongest slam off a cage.
Yeah, I was like, I'm not taking that. Overall, good enough match.
Yeah.
Actual show opened with Enzo and Cass versus the Vaudevillains. Before that, New Day come out to introduce the show, and then we cut to like a vignette thing.
Yeah.
That was kind of weird, pacing of it.
Yeah.
But, yeah, whatever.
Everything was weird for this match, because New Day were sitting ringside in beanbag chairs.
Yeah.
Eating popcorn and live streaming the entire thing.
Yeah, Kofi was live streaming from his phone onto Facebook.
Yeah. And then the match started. See, what happened to me was I went to the bathroom and came back and it was already over.
Yeah. So early on in the match, I think Aiden English is in the corner and Enzo goes for like a running whatever, and English gets his feet up. And I think Enzo like cracked his head on the way down, and
what happened
knocked him out the first time.
Yeah, what happened was he was going to get Irish whipped into the ring, but like slide out.
Yeah,
that was the idea.
That was the second time he knocked himself out.
Yeah.
He charges in, and he said he knocked himself out like the first time when he ran into English, and then English tags in Gotch, and Gotch is going to Irish whip him, and Enzo's supposed to baseball slide under the bottom rope,
but they weren't far enough to do it.
Yeah, I don't know whether they were too close or
they were
what
definitely too close.
To me, it seemed that they were too close. But Enzo caught himself up on the second rope.
Yeah,
and
that fucking slingshot him.
Yeah,
and he smacked his head off of the floor.
He bounced off the apron. His head back of his head bounced off the apron, and then he's kind of like falls out of the ring and cracks his head again. And he was out.
Yeah, completely.
Like he was having like weird convulsions when he was knocked out. So they ended up calling this match.
Yeah, English went out. Gotch went out to grab him.
Gotch went out.
And the ref immediately was like, "No, you don't.
Don't fucking touch him, man."
Yeah, and Cass walked over to see what was happening because obviously no one had planned it, and the ref called the match a no contest at that point.
Yeah,
and then the cameras stopped filming the match and went and just filmed the commentators instead.
Yeah.
While they were stretchering Enzo out of the building.
Enzo was diagnosed with like severe concussion, but
it could have been worse.
Yeah, I legitimately thought he was dead, or he had broken his neck.
Yeah, like the last guy who got an injury on the second rope was in the Rey Mysterio match.
Yeah, Perro Aguayo.
Yeah, Like, that was the last time I'd heard someone getting an injury off of the second rope. So when I heard that, I got really worried, like everyone else did.
Yeah, he caught the rope like beneath his armpit, like into his side, and I thought when he was breathing weird, he had like broken a rib on the rope or something. But you can't rate this match.
No, because it didn't happen.
Yeah. Enzo is doing okay. Hopefully he'll be back soon.
Yeah. We can talk about what happened on Raw, because they did have something going on.
Yeah, there was follow-up.
They had a follow-up to it, but we'll talk about that on the Raw after.
So, to follow this, we had Owens versus Sami Zayn.
Really weird.
Yeah.
Because I was certain I was going to be in...
like a semi-main.
Yeah, it was going to be where either Ambrose and Jericho are, or where Charlotte and Natalya are.
Yeah.
Like, I thought I was going to be there.
Owens and Zayn, I have to hand it to them. Like, they got the crowd back into it after they saw Enzo die, basically.
Yeah.
This was a great match.
Yeah. Like I said, it was probably the best match of the night.
Yeah, I'd agree. There was a lot of back and forth. What are some of the spots you remember from this?
Oh man, there wasn't really many standout spots because it was just a straight wrestling match more than it was anything else.
Yeah.
They didn't have many spots going on in it.
There was like a cool... it was like a fisherman suplex, but Owens brings Zayn down on his knee.
Yeah, that's used to be Owens' signature move back when he was in the Indies. It's like a brain buster onto your knee.
Yeah, it's bloody brutal looking.
And Sami Zayn has one similar to that, but he used the turnbuckle instead of your knee.
Yeah. There was a point in the match where Sami Zayn hits like a Michinoku driver and Michael Cole calls it a Blue Thunder Bomb.
I was so angry about that.
Oh yeah, me too. I was like, you fucking idiot. It's a Michinoku driver.
Yeah, and like, I was pretty drunk at this point watching that. and I was sitting there with my brother and I was like, that is not a Blue Thunder Bomb.
And like the worst part is Zayn then gets up and hits Kevin Owens with a Blue Thunder Bomb, and Mike's like, oh, it's another one.
He hits him with a conventional Blue Thunder Bomb is what he said.
Yeah, that's what it was. It was he called it an unconventional Blue Thunder Bomb, and I was like, oh, you mean not a Blue Thunder Bomb then?
Yeah, fucking hell.
You've only been calling wrestling for 20 years, mate.
Oh God, Jesus Christ! It made me so angry.
Like the guy who invented the Michinoku driver worked in your company.
Yeah. But the match was great.
It was good. Owens eventually wins with like the pop-up powerbomb.
Yeah, they tease a lot of pop-up power bombs, but Zayn reverses most all of them.
Yeah, the story was they were both trying to hit their moves on each other, but Owens couldn't. There was no like finisher reversal. It was just them trying to. I mean, there was no kicking out of finishers.
Yeah,
it was just them trying to work up to hitting one finisher.
Yeah,
and the
countering out of finishers. So like Owens would pop him up for the power bomb, and Zayn would like drop kick him or something like that instead,
or leap over or whatever. Yeah. I like that a lot better than just kicking out of finishers.
Yeah,
makes the finisher. It puts the finisher over more if you can just beat them with one. But yeah, it's a good match. Owens wins, and after he attacks Zayn, chucks him out of the ring, and demands Byron Saxton come into the ring with him.
Immediately interview him about the
match. Owens just like shits all over Zayn, says, now I've finally proven to everyone that I'm the best. I've beaten them clean here in the ring, and now I'm going to get my Intercontinental title back.
Yeah, the Intercontinental title. Not the WWE title.
Yeah.
The Intercontinental title.
Yeah, well... okay.
That's the one that's confusing to everyone.
Yeah, because Zack Ryder wins it at WrestleMania, and by the next pay-per-view, he's not even on the Payback card.
He doesn't even get his rematch.
No, he got a rematch on SmackDown and he lost.
Oh, great.
like the day after he lost it on Raw.
Yeah.
and he hasn't been seen since.
Yeah, he's back down in NXT tagging.
Byron tells Owens that the Intercontinental title match is next.
Yeah.
And so Owens is like, oh cool, I'm going to stay out and commentate with you then. And heads over to the desk and steals Byron's chair and makes Byron sit on one of the crappy folding chairs. So we get like a vignette for this match, and when we come back, Kevin Owens, we get a shot of Kevin Owens and his feet are up on the announce table and he's just laying back and he's wearing JBL's hat.
Oh, Kevin Owens is so good.
And that leads us into Miz versus Cesaro for the IC title.
Yeah.
And throughout this match, Owens is on commentary and he's just destroying the other three.
Yeah, he's great.
Just shitting all over Byron and Cole. And he's like, I'm a better commentator than either of you. I'm as good as JBL. That was the best part of this match.
Yeah, the match itself
was grand,
but it had no merit because it was only to lead into the next storyline for all of these guys.
Yeah, it was a setup for Extreme Rules.
Yeah, that's all this match really was to set up for these guys' next match, more so than anything else.
Yeah, so the match, there wasn't really anything stand out from it.
Most of these matches, there's not much stand out about them, but for the most part, they were all good.
Yeah.
They didn't have the last two matches had some stuff happen.
Yeah.
But everything else beforehand, they were just good matches.
Yeah, there was like Cesaro doing his like big swing, his insane bloody uppercut train. That man is he's great cardio. It eventually ended up with Cesaro getting Miz in a crossface, and at about this time, Sami Zayn ran back out after being shat on by Owens.
Yeah, and
attacks him
and pummels him on the
announce table.
Yeah,
and they end up fighting, and they end up spilling into the ring. And while Cesaro has Miz in the crossface, the ref is trying to
break up Owens and Zayn.
Yeah, trying to shoot him out of the ring, and Miz is tapping, and the ref is distracted. So Cesaro gets up and gets in the ref's face, as you do, and Miz tries to hit it like a skull-crushing finale, but Cesaro reverses, and Maurice ends up distracting Cesaro, and Miz wins with the roll-up. The dreaded roll-up. Seriously, that move needs to be banned. Someone's going to get hurt someday.
Yeah. And then that just led to all four men fighting each other. So yeah, it's just leading to an Extreme Rules match between all of them.
Yeah, it's going to be a fatal 4-way Extreme Rules. So ended up with each of them like laying the other out, and Sami Zayn was the last man standing.
Yeah.
Listen, kayfabe wise, that man has no leg to stand on for the Intercontinental title. He got beat by Owens, hasn't beaten Miz or Cesaro, lost in the ladder match,
lost in his number one contenders match.
Yeah, he doesn't have a leg to stand on for this. But whatever, it should be fine.
You're like, Zayn, I'll give you a pass on this one.
Give me a pass because you're sound. Yeah, I would have rather that they just kept the belt on either Zayn or Owens and have them feud.
Yeah. That's what everyone would have preferred. Like, you can ask anyone right now. They would have preferred just Zayn and Owens one-on-one for at least a month or two. Because
it would have helped to elevate the Intercontinental title.
Yeah.
Like if these two guys had their match, the exact same match that they had
at Mania,
at Payback here, for the Intercontinental title, because like that match they had, the match before the Intercontinental here, but the match before Miz and Cesaro was like, that was a 4-star match, easy.
Yeah.
And if you have like great workers fighting for this title, like it makes the title mean something. But they didn't. They went with Miz and Cesaro.
Yeah, especially because people like Owens and Zayn a lot more than they like Miz.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, Miz is like the best heel in the company, and this isn't me even being a fanboy over a Miz. Like, he's a heel who gets booed consistently in like marky towns and smarky towns.
Even when he's a face, he gets booed.
Yeah, he should never
People
be a
just
face.
like booing him.
Yeah. Like he's able to get heat. People are just like, fuck you, Miz, I hate you.
Even his dad.
Especially his dad. But I do like the Miz Maurice power couple thing that they've got. I don't know. Miz is good. They should keep using him as a heel. Like as a mid-card heel, and maybe like if the
Miz should never be in the main picture. I don't think he's good enough to be a main picture bad guy.
He's not serious enough.
Yeah,
but like you could use him as like a
as a J&J security,
as like a JBL kind of heel, where he's just like cowardly, and like if you don't have heels at the top, like if you're thin on heels, you can move the Miz up, which I would have done after everyone got injured. But no, they did. They of course went with Sheamus. Whatever. Not salty about that at all. But yeah, Fatal 4-Way should be good. I would have just like I honestly I would have preferred like Owens versus Zayn in a straight rematch.
Yeah. For
the Intercontinental title, but I don't know. They don't
I'm sure at the Fatal 4-Way we'll just get the 2 versus the 2, even in the Fatal 4-Way.
Yeah.
We're just going to have Owens versus Zayn and Miz versus Cesaro, and then occasionally they'll fight against the other.
Yeah.
But I'd say that's definitely what we're going to get.
I imagine...
And since it's Extreme Rules, we'll probably get more hardcore going on for it. A little bit of light hardcore.
I imagine before Extreme Rules we're going to get a tag match with Zayn and Cesaro versus Owen and Miz.
I was going to say what they should do is have the two rivalries tag together. Have Owens and Zayn tag against Miz and Cesaro, because all of them hate each other.
Yeah, Owens and Zayn won't tag with each other,
but they want to win.
Yeah,
like I think that'd be really fun to see.
Yeah, I don't think you could have Owens and Zayn on the same team though. At this stage,
you never know.
Yeah,
because we're going to see Owens and Zayn as a tag team at some point.
Yeah,
again,
not for a while though.
But we will see them as a tag team.
Yeah, I can imagine that. Next match was Ambrose versus Chris Jericho.
Not much.
No, nothing really to say here.
It was all right.
It was fine. Yeah, there wasn't really
much that happened.
No.
Jericho went to do the walls of Jericho on the table. I think, didn't he?
Possibly.
He tried to.
Yeah.
I don't think he did though.
It wasn't really. It was just like their normal spots.
Yeah.
Thrown in. There wasn't anything too unexpected. Like this.
No.
This was the exact match that I expected.
Yeah.
And it was grand. The ending I was kind of iffy on. It was they were on the ground and Dean got him like in like a front face lock, but was trying to hook the arms for like for the dirty deeds.
Yeah. And
they ended up like fighting to their feet, with Dean eventually just like locking it in, hitting the dirty deeds.
Yeah.
It looked a little bit iffy for my taste. I kind of hope this would be like a 1 month feud type thing, but
unfortunately, Raw happened.
Yeah, I don't know if there's anything else you can do after this, because
there isn't.
No, they'll just have like the same match at Extreme Rules.
We'll talk about that on Raw. So I've got like one idea for it, but we can talk about that during Raw.
Yeah, overall it was fine. There was
just nothing happened. It was everything you expected it to be, which meant nothing happened.
Yeah, it was perfectly enjoyable. Ambrose won, which I think was the right choice.
Yeah. After this, did we get the McMahon promo, or is that before? Before or after this match?
It was after the next match.
Yeah, I couldn't remember.
But the next match was for the WWE Women's
Oh
title.
boy.
And
what did I tell you when we did our review?
-5 stars if Ric Flair interferes.
-5 stars if there's any screwy finishes.
Yeah.
And what happened?
We got the screwiest finish.
Fuck this match.
So the Montreal Screwjob was 19 years ago, 1997.
Yeah.
And yeah, still using it. They brought Brett in to...
Brett did not look interested at all to be there.
Yeah. The match itself was grand. Some of it was a little bit rehearsed looking. But yeah, the finish was just like a throwback to
the worst thing ever.
Yeah, Montreal Screwjob. So Charlotte puts Natalia in the sharpshooter.
Yeah.
And Little H immediately calls for the bell.
Yep.
And makes a run out through the audience.
A beeline out.
Yeah. Yeah, fuck the finish.
It ends with Natalia and Brett having Charlotte and Ric Flair in the sharpshooter. That's the ending. Fuck this entire match.
Yeah. Didn't care at all for the finish.
Like, even Bret Hart didn't like the finish.
Yeah, because he was like, shit.
Apparently the original idea was he was just going to stand on the ramp as Ric Flair tried to leave.
Yeah.
And he'd just be like, nah. But Bret was like, no, I'll put him in the sharpshooter. And even then he was like, no, it wasn't good.
Yeah. It was still like a... Yeah, the double sharpshooter got the crowd back a bit, but like, it was still... Fuck. Stop doing the Montreal thing.
Yeah.
Get over it, like...
Just because Bret Hart is there.
Yeah, like that's literally the only reason they did it.
Yeah. So the least we can say about this match, the better.
Yeah, I don't really want to talk about this match.
No, it was just terrible.
Next up, we had like the Vince McMahon control of the company to Shane or Stephanie segment.
Yeah. So like, what happened at this moment was it was 2:30. There's an hour and a half left of Payback.
Yeah, about that.
And I turned to my brother and I was like, Roman Reigns and AJ Styles is going to go on for an hour.
And you were wrong. Stephanie McMahon went on for an hour.
Oh, fuck me.
So Vince comes out and crowd start chanting CM Punk.
Oh boy.
And he's like, wow, you guys can really go, can't you?
Jesus. Like these chants were like deafening to listen to.
Yeah. So first
Vince announces that the PG era is done. It's a new era of wrestling.
Yeah.
What it's called, don't know.
Yeah, no, they haven't given it a name yet.
No.
I'm sure they'll come up with some marketing term.
Yeah, but the PG era is done. New era is on the horizon.
The whatever era.
Yeah, I muted this entire thing. I didn't care.
So he calls out Stephanie first, and she starts cutting the promo, and she keeps cutting the promo. She keeps cutting the promo. She keeps cutting the promo.
Yeah, like...
And then 10 minutes later, Vince calls out Shane. Like, she literally talked for 10 minutes. I mean, I know it was probably to make up time for, like...
the End Zone cast match, I feel, was supposed to go half an hour.
Probably not that long.
Well,
but
looking at how everything else went.
Yeah.
Because the AJ Roman Reigns match went on about as long as I expected it to. I feel like the End Zone cast match was maybe supposed to go on for 20-30 minutes.
Maybe.
Because of that.
I'd say about like 20 minutes probably.
I'd say 20 minutes and then a 10-minute thing with the Dudleys or something. I'd say that's what the plan was.
Yeah, something with the New Day probably afterwards.
Yeah, something like that was supposed to happen, I think.
Yeah,
because it's at this entire segment was them obviously trying to fill time because of the injury.
And boy, did they fill that time. So eventually Shane comes out. It's basically both Shane and Stephanie sucking up to Vince.
Yeah.
Trying to get him to pick them. And it comes down to, like, Vince is like, you know what? I want blood. I want you to rip each other's throats out. You're both in control of Raw. 50-50. Make it work.
Mm.
And the crowd were like,
It's not a brand split, at least.
no,
yet.
it's not.
Which I'm grand with.
I'm guessing this leads to, like, Shane and Triple H at SummerSlam.
That seems to be what most people think.
Yeah. That's what makes most sense.
So yeah, Stephanie and Shane both in control.
Mm.
That's really it for that.
Yeah. On to the main event. Got Roman Reigns versus AJ Styles for the WWE title.
Yep.
So,
and to quote Meltzer, the match was great. AJ was great, and Roman was there.
he was there. Listen, he played his role well. I'll say that.
I think Meltzer put it the best though when he said it that way.
Like, AJ obviously led Roman for this match, but Roman, like, I'll give props to Roman. Roman played his part well.
Roman stood there pretty good.
Yeah, pretty good. Looked pretty good there.
But AJ was the standout of the whole thing.
So in the early stages of this match, AJ was out wrestling Roman, and Roman was trying to outpower him, but couldn't. So AJ was in control for a lot of the time early on, and eventually Roman ends up outside the ring, and AJ does, like, a diving springboard forearm.
Yeah, he does his phenomenal forearm,
and they just crash through the announce table.
Fucking beautiful to look at.
Oh, it was fantastic.
Yeah,
and they're both out.
Like seeing AJ Styles, who's, I don't know how small he is.
He's not big. Like, he's smaller than Chris Jericho.
And he jumped. That's about what, like 10 feet.
Yeah.
At the least. And fucking and managed to, like, perfectly land. Like, most people you see who do table spots, the announce table spots, get to the turnbuckle.
Yeah.
Because it's slightly closer. And he's in the ring.
And he just jumps.
Yeah, he just jumps and lands perfectly in the table.
Yeah.
Like, Mick Foley couldn't do this, and he was, like, pretty much next to the table.
Yeah, he missed the table.
Yeah.
Yeah, they both end up down, and AJ gets up first, and he's trying to get Roman back into the ring, and he can't, so eventually he just rolls in for, like, the count out win. And at this stage I was like, wow, that was a fuck finish.
Yeah, and then I looked at the time and I was like, oh, there's 20 minutes left in this.
Yeah, but, like, they've ended pay-per-views early before.
Yeah, but as well because of Enzo and Cass.
Yeah.
I didn't know, which made the match more interesting.
Yeah. So
this match was more fun given that we had no idea what was going to happen.
Yeah.
Because since the Enzo and Cass match ended so early, they could have just ended it early, but they didn't. It kept kind of going, and it was shocking every time it did because we weren't expecting it to keep going.
Yeah. So after the count out is called, Shane comes out and is like, this is a new era. We're not going to have championship matches end in count out in this era. So he restarts the match with no count outs.
Yep.
So AJ eventually gets Roman back in the ring, and they continue doing their thing, and AJ ends up going to the top rope and going for a move on Reigns, and Reigns Superman punches him in the dick.
Yeah, so his dick should be, like, liquefied if we're supposed to believe how powerful that Superman punch is.
Yeah. So ref obviously sees this and calls it a DQ, and Roman's protesting. He was like, I didn't mean to punch him in the dick. But still punched him in the dick, you son of a bitch. Coward. So Stephanie comes out and she's like, as usual, my brother fucked up, and this is gonna be a no DQ match and no count out match.
Yeah.
So matches restart again, and they're brawling. AJ.
The one move that happened when it became no DQ, I remember, is AJ pulling off the 450 splash.
Oh yeah,
from the ring.
The springboard 450.
Yeah,
that was
so
beautiful.
Good.
Genuinely thought that AJ had won it at a couple of points. Hits him with a forearm at one stage and has him down for the 3, but Roman gets his foot on the rope.
Yeah.
Eventually this leads to Gallows and Anderson. AJ has been knocked out outside, and Gallows and Anderson run down, and they end up attacking Reigns. I think that's where they send AJ back in. He hits like the springboard 450.
I think it is.
And then the Usos run down, and they're brawling with Gallows and Anderson.
Yeah.
And eventually there's like a back and forth between Reigns, where AJ tries to hit the forearm and Reigns ducks under it and bounces off the ropes, and AJ lands in the ring, rolls and hits like the ropes and bounces off the ropes, so they're heading towards each other, and Reigns hits the spear on Styles for the win.
One other good spot as well is when they did the phenomenal forearm Superman punch bit. The part that everyone knew was going to happen, but we didn't realize it was going to look as good as it did when it happened.
Styles goes for the forearm, and Roman reverses with like catches him with the Superman punch. I think that's where Gallows and Anderson end up running in.
Yeah, it looked great.
Overall, this match was great.
Yeah, much
better than like Reigns' half-hour slog through WrestleMania with Triple H. To be fair, Reigns' matches are generally quite good.
Yeah. But it depends on the guy he's fighting.
Yeah, that's why it was surprising when he was in there with Triple H. Because like Triple H can still have good matches.
Yeah, but you have to remember, Triple H is still pretty old.
He is, but like the match he had with Ambrose at Roadblock like 3 weeks before Mania.
Yeah, but Ambrose is good.
Ambrose is good, but like Reigns is good enough that he should be able to have a good match against Triple H, but that match was just like way too long.
I think the problem is that Reigns is a powerhouse wrestler.
Yeah.
And he's fighting Triple H, who's another powerhouse wrestler.
Triple H looks like a powerhouse wrestler, but he's never really used the strongman moves.
No, but he does kind of have a bit of a strongman thing with him, with his moves. So like that's the problem, is you're watching two slow, powerful wrestlers fighting, which isn't always interesting to watch.
Yeah, I guess. It's always more interesting when you have like a mix of styles.
Yeah, like this is why this match is so good, because AJ is like a high flyer, submission, technical guy.
Yeah. More
than he is a powerhouse wrestler. And because he'd be fighting a powerhouse wrestler, you get more interesting spots happening. Yeah, I suppose you're right. This match was good. They had AJ looked good coming out of this. Yeah. See, he has 2 victories over Roman Reigns now. Yeah. It kept them both looking good. They need to keep AJ in like the main event picture though. Yeah. Because like, how do you follow something like this? Like who's gonna feud with Roman next? Yeah. And put on like half as good matches. It's like you gonna have Jericho feud with him. They'll probably be decent matches, but I think this AJ and Roman work well together. Yeah. AJ and anyone work well together. And then after that match, it just led to like a little authority or like a Shane Stephanie promo. Yeah, it's them in the back, and Vince is like, "Are we going to see another replay?" No. Okay.
So we have Shane and Steph. Vince asked him, so do you think AJ deserves a rematch? And they're both like, yep. And he's like, well, where will we have it? Well, Extreme Rules is coming up. Maybe we could have it there. So we're getting AJ versus Roman at Extreme Rules.
Yeah.
Should be good.
Like the guy was predicting.
Yeah, I imagine they could change the stipulation to a cage match.
Yeah. Well, we'll find out. We've got a month. 3 weeks?
Yeah, it's on the 22nd, 23rd.
Yeah, we have time to find out.
Yeah, there's still like two more Raws.
Yeah, since like both men have tag teams behind them, there's good enough reason to think that they could make it a cage match to keep
the geeks out.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to it though.
Should be good. Raw
the next night. Just have a couple of notes. We got we got Goldust versus Tyler Breeze.
Yeah, and R-Truth.
And with R-Truth in Tyler Breeze's corner and Fandango and Goldust.
Yeah.
And I found this funny. I found Goldust swiveling his hips.
It was pretty hilarious.
Yeah, they had like a backstage segment as well. And R-Truth has like a selfie stick. And it's a tree branch.
Yeah.
And he's duct taped his phone too.
Yeah.
We had the Ambrose Asylum getting cancelled.
Yeah.
And that vicious coward Chris Jericho putting out Mitch the Plant.
Yeah.
Son of a bitch.
Rest in peace.
R.I.P. Mitch.
The feud no one wanted to continue.
Yeah.
Unless we get a run in by Mitch.
It's just like the mat. Jericho hits like the code breaker and stands up and starts
gallivanting around the ring, and then someone throws the plant at him.
I'm thinking it cuts to like a really wide shot and you just see like a potted plant falling from the rafters and just lands on Jericho's head.
Sting-esque.
Yes. We'll have Mitch come out and like all the leaves will be painted black.
Yeah.
US Battle Royal. We had like all the geeks in here.
All of them. It was amazing to see how many of them were there.
Except Ryback.
Yep.
This was won by Rusev, who eliminated Zack Ryder last.
Yeah.
Battle Royals are Battle Royals. What do you want? We had Kleister on commentary for this, and that dude can't talk.
Nope.
He can't talk at all.
People make fun of your man from New Japan for Wrestle Kingdom 10.
Yoshitatsu.
Yeah. But Yoshitatsu at least understood what he was doing.
Yeah. Yeah, Kleister's not a good talker. Shouldn't have had him out there for like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
I hope Rusev crushes.
Yep. I hope Rusev wins.
Yeah.
Really bad.
We're both on the Rusev train.
Yeah.
What else?
On that Trans-Siberian network.
We had Big Cass and the New Day.
Oh, yeah.
Versus the Vaudevillains and the Dudley Boys.
Since Enzo is injured, Cass seems... I'd say they might probably continue with this until Enzo can come back out.
Yeah.
Have him team with New Day and do like a 4-on-4 this time. And Enzo fits well with the New Day, I thought.
Yeah.
I thought it was a pretty good fit for them.
Yeah. Big white guy.
Yeah.
Among a team of black gospel singers.
Yeah, it's like D12.
Yeah, Cass was over pretty big.
Yeah.
Match was grand. Went a little bit long for me.
But Cass is still entertaining.
Yeah. Cass is pretty good on the mic.
Like, after the match, a New Day are celebrating, and Cass is like
making it rain.
Yeah, making it rain on New Day.
It was announced Vaudevillains are going to get the title match against the New Day.
Yeah. Because
obviously Enzo's injured. So we're getting Vaudevillains versus New Day at Extreme Rules.
Yeah.
New Day retain.
I'd guessing. Say so. There's no reason why Vaudevillains should win over New Day. Was there anything to do with the IC match? I can't remember.
I believe at the start Owens came out and demanded a a rematch. And what he got, like the first match of the show was Owens versus Cesaro.
Yeah.
For a number one contender to the Intercontinental title.
Yeah.
And Miz ended up interfering and it was declared no contest.
Yeah.
Because Owens grabbed the belt from Miz and tried to hit Cesaro. But Cesaro ducked it, grabbed the belt off of Owens and ended up whacking Miz. So at the end, Sami Zayn ended up running out. So it looks it's going to be a fatal 4-way.
Yeah.
For the IC title. What else is there? The Charlotte versus Natalya. We're getting a rematch at Extreme Rules, and it's going to be a submission match.
Yeah.
And Ric Flair is going to be banned from ringside.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah.
Oh, the greatest stipulation.
Yeah, Ric Flair's banned from ringside.
I think if I had a wrestling match, I'd make that my stipulation.
It would be a Ric Flair is banned from ringside match.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hopefully it's not Charles Robinson refereeing again. If I see him as the ref, I'm going to be like, oh, for fuck. What I think is going to happen is we're going to get a ref bump, and the ref that runs out to call the match will be Charles Robinson.
Yeah.
Should be grand. Ric Flair won't be there.
Thank God.
Yeah.
And the only real big news from Raw is how they're doing Reigns versus AJ for Extreme Rules.
Yeah. They had like a 6-man tag match, Reigns and the Usos versus AJ and Gallows and Anderson.
They don't have a tag name yet.
Weren't they using they were using the name in like New Japan and Ring of Honor? I can't remember. Was it the Gorillas of Destiny or something like that?
I don't think they'll be called that.
No, that's too wordy.
So yeah, we'll just call them the Bullet Club.
Yeah, the Bullet Club.
Bullet Club versus the Roman Empire.
Yeah.
It's easier saying it this way.
So, match is grand, ends with AJ hitting the forearm on one of the Usos.
Yeah. You tell me which.
I think it was Jimmy.
We should get like a wheel that's got their names on it, and we just rotate and we're like, which one took the pin?
Who's that Oos?
Yeah.
So AJ gets the win, and after the match, Gallows and Anderson bring in Roman and a chair, and they're holding Roman up, and they give the chair to AJ, and they're like, fucking clobber him. And AJ's like, no, I'm not gonna hit him. Put him down. But they end up just like kicking him out of the ring. And Usos run in and grab the chair that's on the ground.
And attack AJ.
Yeah.
This whole thing made no sense to me. Like, who are we supposed to root for in this confrontation?
I mean, AJ is a clear babyface here.
Yeah, like he refused to attack his opponent.
Refused to pummel Reigns with a chair. Got punched in the dick.
Yeah.
got attacked from behind by the Usos with a chair.
Like, and Roman Reigns is the good guy in this, apparently.
Yeah. No, like, there's no way Roman's the good guy in this.
Yeah, like, it's so confusing to me that, well, like, they think he's the good guy, WWE do. But, like,
they're booking it for AJ to be the good guy. He hasn't done anything wrong.
Yeah, he hasn't done anything wrong. The people who've done things wrong are Gallows and Anderson.
And Roman for punching him in the dick.
Yeah, and the Usos. AJ Styles is the only one here who has done nothing wrong.
Yeah, so Usos clear out AJ and then go to work on Gallows and Anderson. They clear out Gallows and Anderson. AJ gets back in the ring and gets the chair. And
yeah, as he is within his right to do at this point.
Yes, he takes on two men with one steel chair. Yeah. Like, that's a fair fight.
After they had attacked him from behind. Yes.
And then Roman gets in and attacks AJ from behind.
Yeah.
And then power bombs him through a table.
Yeah.
And that's how they leave off Raw. I'm really enjoying their feud.
Yeah. I have a feeling this could lead to AJ turning heel, because him being the good guy is doing nothing for him. Especially, like, if you look at this match in particular.
Selling t-shirts.
Yeah, but like he still sell t-shirts as a bad guy. He'll probably outsell most people as a bad guy, but like there's like they'll probably use this match as like some sort of catharsis for it. Like he was the good guy and he still got the shit kicked out of him unfairly, and like they'll probably have a spot like that in the hardcore match where he has the chance to turn heel and face. And
yeah, I think what's going to end up happening is AJ stays face and Gallows and Anderson turn on him, and eventually
I know you want to say it.
Yeah,
I know you want to say it.
You all know what's coming, ladies and gentlemen. Eventually, it's Balor leading Anderson and Gallows.
Yeah,
but like
we don't trust Finn Balor anymore.
No, he's a dirty liar. Yeah. dirty liar.
Like all of them from Bray.
The notorious liars.
Yeah, we can say that because Bray is just above us. Yeah. It's packed full of liars.
It's literally like half an hour drive from here. Just a town built on lies, by liars, for liars, left and right.
I'm starting to think Finn Balor's not even from Bray. He lies so much.
I'm starting to think his name isn't even Finn Balor. Yeah, Payback was pretty good. Much better than WrestleMania.
Yeah. And Raw was interesting.
Raw has been good to... There hasn't like been an awful Raw since WrestleMania.
Yeah, since Shane got in charge.
Yeah, the worst that we've had was, it's alright.
Yeah. And that was like the go-home show.
It seems like they know what they're doing, but... You never know. You never know.
They don't know what they're doing.
No, like it's been like there's been consistent storylines going on
for like everyone.
Yeah, and they seem to have a direction that they want to go, but like time will tell. Yeah, we'll know by SummerSlam whether or not they know what they're doing. Yeah. Also, John Cena's coming back.
Like Memorial Day.
Yeah, 30th of May, I think.
No, Americans have a lot of holidays.
Fake holidays. Yeah. 30th of May, I think. So like Raw 2 weeks after Extreme Rules.
Yeah, so I say he'll go back to the US title.
Yeah, that's probably why they're putting.
Yeah, from everything I've heard, John Cena is going to slowly feed out of everything. Yeah. He's going to go to he's slowly going to go to what Triple H or that would be doing now. Yeah. Where he'll appear every now and then, but he won't be wrestling all the time. I figure Rusev will win the US title and will probably lead to a feud between him and Cena.
Yeah, I can imagine that.
Like all over again. And maybe Cena does the good thing and not squash Rusev.
Well, it's not Cena booking it.
It isn't, but you know.
Yeah. I don't know. Looking back in hindsight, Kevin Owens should have won the title from Cena.
Yeah. He should have.
Because they did nothing when they put it on Del Rio.
But the idea, they didn't know that they were bringing Kevin Owens up so early, from everything I know. Yeah. Like the idea was Sami Zayn was supposed to go up before him, but since Zayn got injured, Owens went up, and they probably didn't plan it to go like that.
Well, like by the third match, they knew.
Probably.
Because like he had lost the title to Balor at that stage before they had their their blow off match. Yeah. So Owens should have won there.
I'd say they were keeping Owens for Zayn coming back. I'd say that's what they were doing, because like that's the only real thing I can think of.
Because like they had their last,
because a feud with John Cena could last a year.
They ended up having like their last match in July, I want to say. Yeah. The end of July. And the new Cena was heading out in October. So, I mean, they didn't end up really doing anything with him between then and October. They had him lose the belt to Rollins and win it back at the next pay-per-view. So, I don't know. And then lose it at the next one to Del Rio. Yeah. So, yeah. I don't know. Owens should have won. That's all I'm saying.
Owens was robbed.
Yeah. Would have made the belt mean more to have it on a new debuting guy who looked strong and beat Cena twice.
Then a guy who was just there for the money.
Yeah.
We can say how good Del Rio is all we want, but he was only there for the money.
Yeah, and at this stage, I don't think he cares.
No.
Because they've done nothing with him.
Yeah, he's getting paid. He doesn't give a shit.
Yeah. Anyway, I think we'll wrap it up there.
Yeah.
Thanks everyone for listening to episode 14 of the Irish Whip podcast. You can follow us on Twitter at Irish Whipcast. Check out our Facebook Irish Whip podcast and our YouTube Irish Whip podcast. Next episode will either be like an NXT or Lucha Underground episode. We haven't decided yet.
Well, it'll be one of the two.
Yeah.
Probably Lucha Underground, because NXT this month has been mostly WrestleMania week matches.
Yeah.
Ones that do not matter.
They've moved back to Full Sail now.
Yeah, but the stuff that's still airing is WrestleMania week matches. So like there hasn't been really much to go on it. Like what we're going to review Nakamura versus the Drifter.
I kind of want to review that. Anyway, next episode should be up, I want to say 2 weeks-ish. Yeah.
Before Extreme Rules.
Yeah.
The week before Extreme Rules at the latest.
Yeah. And our Extreme Rules preview show will be out like...
The night of.
The night of Extreme Rules.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening, everyone.